New Zealand will end its training mission in Iraq, but not until next year. There are currently up to 95 troops at Camp Taji training Iraqi security forces. New Zealand's deployment will end by June 2020. It's been working with Australia in the joint mission since 2015. The Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern extended the Iraq and Afghanistan deployments last September, but they were reduced in size. She says the Iraq deployment will continue to get smaller before winding up altogether.
Significant progress has been made at Taji, with the Iraqi security forces having increased their capability to defeat and prevent the resurgence of ISIS. Those forces will now take on a greater role in the delivery of basic training, and the focus of New Zealand and Australian personnel can shift to training Iraqi trainers.
Jacinda Ardern was asked why it's taking so long to end the deployment altogether, given Labor had opposed it before coming into government.
But we did also, though, in coming into office, have to acknowledge that we had a commitment that had been made. Not only a commitment that had been made to the Iraqi government, but also a commitment in conjunction with Australia to work together to offer this training mission. This was about honouring that commitment, completing the job that we said we'd do, and now that the time is right, ultimately leaving.
Our political editor Jane Patterson was there when the Prime Minister made her announcement. Hi Jane, what do you make of the timing?
Well, I think Labor or the coalition government has really gone for a bit of a compromise position here. Of course, you have the Defence Minister, Ron Mark, who is New Zealand First, from the New Zealand First Party, and then the confidence and supply partner of Labor, the Greens. Now, back in May last month, when I talked to Ron Mark, he said that, the fight against ISIS had not been successful. It hadn't finished yet, that there was still work on the ground to be done. And this decision, I think, reflects the fact that New Zealand wants to stay for a bit longer and be seen to be still part of that coalition with the US and Australia in particular. But the compromise part is that there'll be a gradual reduction ending. There will be a final end point that we didn't have last September when the coalition government extended it for a second time, New Zealand's second extension. But also money will be spent on stabilisation in Iraq, and really that will help ease the Greens' concerns, because that is money that will be going into rebuilding and not such combat-specific funding. So I think a compromise has been reached that will keep both of these parties happy.
Thanks, Jane. That's our political editor, Jane Patterson, joining us from Parliament there.